Very nice. Welcome everyone to what I believe is the first official race of this Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament.
Woo! So much hype.
Yep.
I'm so excited,
Yeah, I've been looking
and
forward
I'm
to
not
this.
even the one racing right now.
I've been looking forward to this for a while. Every match is going to be exciting. 10 seconds.
Alright, so I guess as these guys get ready to hit that first A button, we can point out right away that they've decided to go with different stat builds. It looks like Emptyeye is going with the Strength HP build, and RCT is going with the Strength Agility build. Is that correct?
Yep.
So we actually have a nice little difference as opposed to the test run we had with Jack and Wedge. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out, if one of them gets to go a level earlier or not.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hurt more. Nice.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm sure they are both starting at the same time. It's just a Twitch delay here.
Yeah, still a little bit separate visually.
Oh boy, we're starting with Hurtmore and the Stones of Sunlight. Yeah, you can see they're both about the same place, and looks like gold.
Castle's
RCT
in a
got
nice
almost
little
the
corner.
minimum gold.
I always like the castle being in a corner when there's just one option or maybe two from the starting area to go. In terms of the opening builds, I think, like, for the most part, it often doesn't matter which build you take in terms of the end game, but sometimes it does, and it will be interesting to see what happens with two different builds.
Yeah, alright, so RCT's got his first kill as a skeleton, and Emptyeye went with a scorpion. So they both level up immediately. RCT gets 2 levels, and gets Return, Hurt, and Heal more. So
much going on all at once.
They are completely set for spells early on.
Yeah, I can't blame them for going exploring as far as they can when they start with Hurt more. Lots of opportunity out there.
There's Emptyeye with the first kill. Red Slime knows Hurt more as well. And he's gonna up the reset? Or no, he's going into his emulator settings, it looks like. There's RCT finding out werewolves have Dragonlord breath.
Yeah, I think our stream is a little ahead of yours, so I'll be careful.
Okay. Yep. No, you can spoil things for me. It's all right.
Yeah, that's true.
My computer wouldn't appreciate it if I tried to put up both streams at the same time on mine, so I'll have to live with watching it through the stream's eyes that everybody else is on.
Makes sense. Emptyeye returning to the castle for some extra magic, taking full advantage of the Hurt more possibilities. Sometimes if you're walking far away, it would be best to suicide, but if you're staying close, sometimes you can just pop in and get extra magic. Save your gold, especially if there's a shopping opportunity nearby.
RCT hits level 4 right away.
Unfortunately, Emptyeye's stream is lagging a little bit, but I'm trying to watch where he's exploring. I don't think anyone's found a town yet. They do have some gold.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. No
RCT
towns.
just finding his first cave. Using his last Hurt more, so if it's mountain or the grave, hopefully things aren't too dangerous for him. Leveling up to level 5. Emptyeye, meanwhile, just building nearby. He's at level 4, not too far behind. No major differences as of yet.
Yeah, these guys are definitely wishing that they had some more MP right now. Whenever it's a Hurtmore seed, that's the main stat you're going for.
Absolutely. I didn't realize RCT would be in the dark, by the way. He doesn't have a torch or radiant. So it looks like he's ready, whatever cave he's in, to do it in the dark.
I'm betting it's Tablet Cave. Yep, that is Erdrick's Tablet Cave for sure.
That was very nice work getting through the cave. Of course, if you didn't know your way or you got lost or something, you could get stuck in there with no enemies to suicide on, but RCT appears to know exactly what he's doing.
No big reward for RCT in the tablet cave, unfortunately, just an herb. Emptyeye up to level 5 now. So he's pulling slightly ahead in the experience race, but perhaps a little bit behind in exploration.
Yeah, he's still getting some good distance walking. I assume he's either trying to find a town, or if he happens to get killed on the way, he'll get his MP back. So it's win-win, basically. He's doing the right thing.
His desire for sure is to try and find Breckenary or any town with an N, really.
Can't cross the swamp. It's the end of the line. He's going for the suicide. Thou art dead. Both players nearly the exact same experience right now, and both dying almost at the same time. They're about 12 seconds apart on the stream, but no biggie. So yeah, if there are enemies up to werewolves in the nearby zone, there's plenty to grind on. Plenty of different ways to explore right now. Still, I haven't seen a town on either screen, just that tablet cave. So this could be another one of those seeds like last night where everything was far away. But we'll see. Emptyeye finding a bridge Sparkover will appreciate.
The bridge to nowhere, the Ted Stevens special.
So yeah, as both players level up, they'll get more MP, they'll be able to go further and fight more along the way. It's still the right thing to do to try and walk as far as you can and then suicide when you run out of magic, but eventually those long walks will get longer and longer and they'll find towns and caves.
Yep, I fully agree. You really want to just try and cover as much ground as you can, because you pretty much always need to cover the entire world map at some point, so you just might as well get it done early so you can pick up the easy treasures.
Of course,
both of these guys starting with no equipment right now, of course. They haven't found any magic keys either, so no easy chests there, but with Hurtmore, they have no problem killing stuff.
Wyvern for Emptyeye. These enemies that give more than 50 experience and are so susceptible to Hurtmore are the most wonderful level gainers when you have Hurtmore, so both players will skyrocket to level 9 or 10 or so before things start to normalize a little bit.
Yeah, Wraith Knight followed by Wyvern is really fantastic. I mean, he literally just doubled his experience.
Now, RCT has found a cave. Oh, I'm not sure if that's the same one or not. He didn't go in, so it might still be the tablet cave. As I say, he looks ready to tackle any cave in the dark, which is very smart for this, just in case.
Yeah, he's definitely done his homework.
Finally going in. Yeah, there was another cave on screen, which I think was the tablet cave. It looks like he's determined that this is the swamp cave north, so he is going through to see if he can backdoor into Grinham or Tentagel.
Yep, always a good idea. You can either get 3 treasure chests or keys, both of which are really nice to have early on.
The result is an overworld cave, so he's going to continue exploring from there. He has found Sharlock, which I believe is in the middle of the map based on what I saw before we started. And he's found a town just below Sharlock, and it is Breckenary.
Not the one you want to find, but at least it is. Oh, we also found a metal slime on the way, it looks like, so that's interesting. But with Hurtmore, less of a need.
Yeah. So, in checking for weapons and armor, there is a silver shield in Breckenary, so that is a possibility for this map. I assume both players will get one eventually. Emptyeye running into a red dragon, unfortunately.
Yep, fun police. Not the last time that'll happen, I imagine. The first time this tournament, but not the last.
So yeah, even though things are a long walk in Breckenary and there's not often anything of value, RCT will go and fill his inventory up on torches, possibly herbs, and of course the dragon scale. Of course.
So you can see between RCT's and Emptyeye's stats that there was a really hefty power boost in level 7. which doesn't matter quite as much early on with Hurt More, but will still be useful to clear out Scorpions and the like that you don't want to waste the Hurt More MP on.
Emptyeye's exploration taking him to a cave and Remolder, so Emptyeye gets the jump on keys.
Yep, keys are just so important early on. That's almost immediately 4 chests, plus whatever's in the basement of Tantagal. And don't worry, everybody, that we all pronounce all the towns and significant places of interest and monsters all differently.
It's true, everybody pronounces them differently.
A pronunciation guide for us to use. RCT using the oft ignored east exit from Breckenary. I'm not sure I've ever exited that side of it, but if your item shop is the last destination, that might be closer.
Yeah, I used to use the east exit of Breckenary in the speed run back in the no manipulation days until we discovered a little that if you reverse the tool shop and the weapon shop, you can save something like 2 seconds. So ever since then, we reversed them and we continued exiting left, saved about 2
totally
seconds.
Worth it.
So Emptyeye was lagging there, but he found something in Remolder that said ST. It might be the Staff of Rain. I assume it has to be.
I'll try to be able to tell you because I'm behind you by a bit.
Okay.
Oh, nope, I didn't quite catch it either. I'm sorry.
I don't think it could have been anything else. Starting with ST, we already have the
right,
stones.
it's a. The throne room was Stones of Sunlight, so they both have the stones. That was the other thing. It was gold, stones, magic key.
And yeah, I think you can check staff for Emptyeye. I don't think it can be anything else.
It could be a Storch.
Now, Emptyeye, it looks like he has 8 heal mores now, so they're already in the range where they can do a lot of exploration with their hurt mores, and it's just so valuable. Very few enemies not susceptible to it.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's tough to balance your exploration with your desire to level as well. And when you have both heal more and hurt more early on in such low MP, it's really it's a battle for resources.
Yeah. Yeah, Emptyeye's still lagging a bit. He's found Breckenary, and he went up to the weapon shop, but we couldn't tell if he actually bought anything or not. He's going to the item shop now to stock up.
He didn't really have any gold. I didn't notice him buying the leather armor. That was the only thing that he could have purchased in there.
Okay.
And I did not see it happen. Yeah, Emptyeye had mentioned before the race that his computer was acting a little slow, so hopefully it's not slowing him down on his side. But he is still ahead a level, so he's doing just fine. Oh, no, I take that back. RCT is hit level 7.
Yeah, no significant difference in experience yet, of course, especially with Hurt More available when they're killing enemies that give close to 100 experience fairly frequently. No major differences yet, other than the fact that Emptyeye has found Remolder. It's not too far away. I figure it won't be too long until RCT finds it as well.
Mm-hmm. Blue Dragon just ended his exploration run this time, so we'll see if Emptyeye can try to take a commanding lead. It's mostly going to depend on the enemies he gets to fight and if he manages to find key towns early on. If you can fight a whole bunch of Wraith Knights on the way to Cole that happens to have Erdrick's armor, then you're just going to be way ahead. Oh, RCT with a clutch run against the Fun Police early on with only 48 agility.
Emptyeye still hasn't been back to Tantagel yet. I haven't seen him raid the treasury or anything. Still 28 MP left, so 5 more hurt mores. Oh, he's actually back in Breckenary to heal. It looks like he is surviving, so he might not be back to Tantagel for a while.
Alright, sorry guys if I'm quiet for a little bit. I'm going to try and set up a laptop and see if I can't get both their streams up so that I'm not 15 seconds behind trying to catch up to your commentary.
Alright.
But in the meantime, There's level 8 for RCT.
Excellent. So both players at level 8 gaining some measure of stability, fighting and not having to die in between, and exploring as they go, branching out. Looks like Emptyeye has found the mountain cave. I think that was the one right next to Remolder. So 5 more potential treasure chests for him.
Yep, and they're already all the way up to 60 max MP, so they're doing real good. That is a lot of hurt mores.
Starting with hurt more often means a faster seed. It looks like this one will be no different. It looks like they're expanding at an average to above average rate, and it'll probably be over in an hour and a half or less.
Yeah,
Probably.
one can only hope.
Yeah, probably much less.
Right. Early Heartmore seeds typically don't last super long. Early Heartmore and early Erdrick Sword are the 2 biggest keys to getting that sub hour 30.
There are fun police in the mountain cave bottom floor. Emptyeye just got away from one, so he's getting the top 2 chests. One is
Very
gold
nice.
and an herb. Meanwhile, RCT has found a new town, and it is coal.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Edric's sword in the mountain cave for Emptyeye.
Ooh, that's also nice. Don't
So,
underestimate Erdrick Sword. Even while you have Heartmore, you still want to have that sword.
And Edric's armor in coal for RCT, a very interesting clash of items. So we can assume they've gone in opposite directions or fairly far apart right now, and they've each been compensated in different ways.
I don't know if Emptyeye already had keys or not, but he just picked one up in Mountain Can as well.
So RCT just bought the chainmail to replace his Edric's armor. I've certainly gone into the menu and done that, but I've always said it's not okay and canceled it. But he's actually exiting the town. I think he hasn't noticed his mistake, and he no longer has Edric's armor.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I figure he'll realize what happened when he tries to walk over some swamp, but until then, unfortunately, he just got dragged.
Kima kills him.
That just happened by Dragonlord Breath, and now...
Yeah.
Now he's got to walk all the way back.
Dragons have Dragonlord Breath as well, it appears, on Emptyeye's side. So, wow.
So you can attribute that to opening race jitters.
That is quite the moment. But Emptyeye picked up his mountain key, so he's checking out the treasury.
Still too much lag for me to see what he picked up.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. Well, it's all saying bamboo poles because he did the treasure glitch. It looks like torch. The center one is small gold.
And I confirm that he has the staff of rain as well.
Cursed belts in the top left.
Nice.
Yeah,
Two
he's
cursed
dual wielding belts.
So yeah, Emptyeye will, I assume... No, he's not doing a gold grind.
It might be worth checking the basement of Tanagle, just in case it's like the Staff of Rain cave, and that also has a gold chest in it. Then you can just
exactly what he's doing.
So that begs the question, can RCT reobtain the armor? Is it even possible?
I have to believe that it'll be there again as a failsafe, just like any of the other treasure chests. Like if you say thou hast given up the silver harp, it will be there again when you re-enter the cave.
Okay.
But I've never actually done it with ground search items.
Yeah. Oh, and what do we have here? It is the Staff of Rain cave.
Yep.
He's hoping for that gold chest.
And he's got it.
So
yeah.
Emptyeye doing the gold grind. He'll be happy to grab some better defense.
I wouldn't be surprised if he
well on
stays
his
there.
way.
I wouldn't be surprised if he stays there until 33,000 gold to potentially pick up everything.
Well, he's
never
got
mind.
an
He has the sword.
so
That's
he only
right.
needs 22,500.
There we go.
22,500 gold will pick you up the silver shield and the magic armor, and those are the best pieces of armor that you can buy. Although Erdrick's armor is better than the magic armor.
McGrew says he's 99% sure the armor will still be there, and that was my gut feeling as well, just because of how they fail-safe the treasure chests as well.
Yeah, I mean, it would be... I don't know how he would even complete this game if he did not have Erdrick's armor. I mean, he'd have to be level, like, 26. I don't even know.
I missed where RCT got his source, but both players have keys now, and access to everything. Oh, RCT was in Garen's grave and got a magic key.
Ah, okay. So, yeah, it looks like Emptyeye got his in Mountain Cave, and then RCT found his in Garen's grave. Interesting. Alright, so, yep, Emptyeye tries to cast outside from the Staff of Rain cave, but that doesn't work very well. Being as he's still there. You're right. So
as we reach the
checking
20-minute
out the
mark.
treasury. He's probably not too happy about finding the small gold in the treasury.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like he checked out the basement at all. Oh, actually, yes, he did. Sorry.
3 caves almost on one screen, and I guess... Oh, there's a 4th! Almost on one screen, 4 caves. For some reason, RCT is standing still. I guess he's deciding which cave to go in first?
Yeah, it could be just like a map update thing as well.
Oh, that's right. So he found... That's the swamp south?
Yep. And he's already found Swamp North, I believe, so I don't think that's going to be super productive. Or at least we know where North Swamp is. Yep.
And he must have been in the other cave as well. He's continuing exploration.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure he's figured out that he had Erdrick's armor at one point yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure he's going back to Cole or not. For now, it looks like they're both back to exploration.
So yeah, he's walking through swamp, so you might be right. If he's not headed in Cole's direction, then he just might not realize that he ever had the armor.
I'm sure once he finds Hawksness and or the Cantlin clue and gets those and realizes he doesn't have the armor, then he might have an epiphany.
A new town,
we
though.
hope. If not, then he could still be in trouble.
This could be Cantlin, one of the clues. Unfortunately, werewolves also have Dragon Lord breath, one of many in this seed, apparently. So, he'll be headed back to that town soon, find out if it's Garenham or Cantlin. I don't think there are any others that haven't been found. Oh, or Hawksness.
Right, and they are pretty well equipped for Hawksness, presuming that the enemy is something beatable with Hurtmore.
Right, heal more obtained as well.
Well, their HP is pretty low, so I don't think a red dragon would still work.
Right.
With only 57 HP for Emptyeye, 54 for RCT because of the different build.
Emptyeye just purchased half plate from Remolder.
Yep, that's a significant boost.
There is lots of delicious Hurtmore bait everywhere.
Yeah, RCTMid fighting a werewolf despite knowing that it could kill him at any time. Deciding the 95 experience is worth it.
RCT, the first player to reach level 9. Both players still close in experience, no major divergence yet. But RCT with a lead, and the lead, like the fact that he lost Edric's armor, slightly compensating for that, so still a close race, of course.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't see him purchase the shield myself, so I couldn't tell you what he's got. Has Emptyeye completed his gold quest yet? I mean, he did the gold grind, but I don't know if he bought anything major with it.
He still has tons of gold, so... Oh no, he must have gotten the shield there, right?
Yeah, he had to have gotten Silver Shield. Unless he died but the gold still wouldn't work out that way because he got
Right.
23,000. And he just picked up level 9 as well. 15 more magic points, all the hurt more fuel. Yep.
Yeah, sorry for the things we're missing, guys. We did a race before, and the commentary was smooth because we could see everything that was happening. Even though they were on speed hacks in that race, it was easy to see everything. And it's just the lag issue right now. We're missing one or two things, but hopefully it's enough for everyone to enjoy the race.
Yeah, Emptyeye also opting to hurt more away a werewolf here. Despite the imminent risk of death, but this time it works out for him. The full 65 damage on that first werewolf.
RCT going for another werewolf as well, gets it in 1 hurt more, which is another reason that it's not a terrible idea to at least try.
Right, I don't know what the percentage chance is of a hurt more killing a werewolf cleanly, but it's probably close to 50% or a little above.
I agree, probably around 50.
I don't have the exact stats down on that kind of stuff, I just have a feel for it at this point, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Emptyeye just found a werewolf. Sends him back to Tanagal without magic armor. So he lost. He was up to 8,000 gold. Now he's back down to 4,000.
Thankfully, if you find full plate, it actually has as much defense as magic armor. The only things you're missing out on are healing back 1 HP per 4 steps, and of course, reducing the damage from hurt more. Although, interestingly enough, it does not reduce the damage from fire breath.
Right. So, yeah, magic armor not really going to do the job against the Dragon Lord's fire breath. It's just too powerful. And so I think really as soon as Emptyeye is able to find coal, I think he will really start pulling ahead. Although currently he appears to be behind on experience.
RCT finding just about everything to fight. He found an Axe Knight, didn't kill it, but now he's found an Armored Knight, which are just great as soon as you can absorb an attack. 172 experience per 2 heal mores, or hurt mores rather, which hit almost every time.
Yep, and with so much MP to use, it's not really even a bother if this costs 18 MP to kill an Armored Knight. That's still about a quarter of a level at this point.
Emptyeye killing an Axe Knight himself now, very close to level 10, which is what RCT is at. Everything's still nice and close. Lots of juicy enemies for everyone to hunt right now. Of course, if RCT still had Edric's armor, he wouldn't be at all scared of Dragon Lord breath.
Looks like they're both exploring roughly the same part of the map as well. So the things on Emptyeye's list now are just Erdrick's armor, and then Erdrick's token. He does not know yet whether it's in a chest or in one of the 3 big item locations.
Emptyeye now finding the Tablet Cave, which I believe had an herb.
Yep. But he should have the outside spell, so he'll be able to leave it quicker than RCT was able to.
Yeah, it looks like at level 10, RCT already has all the spells. RCT now returning to Cole. We will find out if he figured out his mistake with the armor. It's headed straight for the square. And he's got it.
And yeah, he did. He was able to pick up that armor again. So RCT was able to find it before Emptyeye was.
And
Twice,
then again.
Indeed.
He also picks up a broadsword while he's there.
Ah.
It won't be long until he finds Edric's sword. It was reasonably close to home. But of course, he's off in a different place right now.
Yep, so not even a half hour into this race, they've got almost all of the major milestones. I believe the only things they haven't found yet are... I don't believe either of them have found Garenham, is that correct?
Yes.
And then it's very possible that the Rainbow Drop Cave is in the basement of Garenham then.
Indeed. In addition, I have seen like one Demon Knight and a couple Red Dragons. Other than that, pretty much everything they're finding is heal-moreable and very valuable. So just great grind possibilities absolutely everywhere. It's going to be a very quick ending, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It might even be a PB situation for one or both of them. Those early Hurtmore seeds really do that. Yeah, nice comment from Firelight in the chat. The shopkeeper took the Erdrick's armor that he sold back to him and just threw it away 4 steps out to the fountain again.
Beautiful.
This stuff is worthless. I only paid a gold for it anyway. Of course, the shopkeeper goes to work every day, and before we picked it up at all, it had just been sitting there for years and years anyhow.
Yep. Yeah, as if things weren't fast enough already, both players also have Repel and are clearly using it. I haven't seen any low-level enemies in a long time. There's a red dragon on Emptyeye's side, so there is some danger somewhere. But
Yeah,
not much.
we are up to 56 agility at least on Emptyeye's side, so yeah, he's able to get away, it looks like. RCT, a level ahead, picked up a lot of agility. He's also doing great. Yeah, all the stats, I mean, the strength is still a little low, but all the stats really seem to be lining up pretty well for a reasonably early finish.
Fast stats and smooth exploration. Yeah, once the two players converge in terms of what they have, it'll be interesting to see how close they are to each other and if we can have a photo finish.
Right, and I think what this might come down to with them being so close is their choice of stats right in the beginning. We'll see if Emptyeye is able to dive Charlock a level earlier or not.
That's a good point. Both players have, I would say, below average HP, and there's every chance that they could be, strong enough with not enough HP until a certain level, and it's possible that Emptyeye could be ready one level earlier.
Yep, and it looks like, I mean, the agility is already going to be pretty reasonable early on, so it's looking like that might not be a factor.
RCT pulling the Hurtmore experiment, I like to call it, on blue dragons. I have seen so much.
Did not work out for him this time, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've seen so many times, it's close to 50-50 on working, but I've seen, 6 Hurtmores in a row not work on a blue dragon. They just seem to be cursed that way.
Yep.
Emptyeye finally raiding the castle treasury. Fueling up on cursed belts.
I'm not entirely sure why he's loading up on those, because I believe he'd already checked this treasury previously.
Yeah, he left the middle chest, so he must have.
Yeah, that middle chest just had 120-ish gold in it. Yep, checking his inventory, he's got something like 5 cursed belts.
Yeah, I saw at least 4, and that's got to be a record for a round where, I mean, clearly he has more than enough gold for anything and the ability to obtain more grinding than he would just picking up cursed belts.
I think the plan is just to carry as many cursed belts as possible to Dragon Lord.
Cursed belt percent.
Yep, looks like he just found Garen's grave himself. I don't believe when we saw RCT go in there that he was able to go beneath the first floor. Fun Police has something to say about his descent.
Dragon Lord Breath still doing more than enough with that Edric's armor. Meanwhile, Emptyeye running into a werewolf, and he has to worry about Dragon Lord Breath. Can't run. Still just being attacked. He survives with 4 HP and gets away.
Wow, clutch. And sometimes those clutch runs can be all the difference. They can save you anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes if the place you were in was clear across the map. Oh, but the fun police ruin his fun too. They're out in force today. They heard they were having a race tonight and made sure to call everybody in.
Okay, the two players are now 1,000 experience apart, which again is not as big as it would be if they didn't have something like Hurt More. But RCT, now that he has his armor and a lead, has a technical advantage, and we'll see how well it carries him. Again, Emptyeye could be ready a level earlier. We'll see if that happens.
RCT is on the cusp of level 12 already, though. You will see, along with the levels going up and your offense not really changing because you're just using Hurt More, that it does take longer time to level between levels. But the real killer here is that he's really in Explore mode, being inside Garen's grave instead of just on the overworld fighting all the delicious enemies, the Magic Wyverns, the Wraith Knights. Although he has found an Armored Knight here that he will not mind killing at all with his large MP reserves. There's level 12 for him. And a nice level there. 16 power. That's the big one right there. We needed a lot of power to come up in the next few levels in order to have a shot at early Dragon Lord.
So yeah, if RCT hasn't found Edric's sword yet, he probably will soon, and strength is going to approach critical fairly soon. I haven't seen exactly where they're at right now, but obviously with levels this quick, they're going to get there soon.
Yet another fun police kill on Emptyeye's side. He is not having good luck with them.
Yeah, RCT definitely in the lead now. There's no question about...
Yep.
I mean, the only thing he doesn't have is the sword that Emptyeye has, I think.
He's also missing the Staff of Rain too, I believe, because he was not able to grab it. We'll see what's in this bottom floor chest here. No, just a torch. So outside he goes, choosing not to gold grind.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have the shield either.
Not. But he hasn't found Mountain Cave yet, so he's probably just waiting for that opportunity.
McGrew debating a very interesting option for future randomizer races, the Death Necklace giving plus 10 strength and minus 25% HP. Not really crazy about that idea.
Yeah, I'm a hard pass on that one. And you're talking to the guy that gets them more often than anybody else, it seems.
That's right.
It's another one up last night. I think that puts me to 4 or 5. The Death Necklace, by the way, in those 120-ish gold chests like the one you see in Tantagel in the center of the treasury, there's a 1 in 32 chance that instead of that gold, it gives you a Death Necklace, which is a cursed item. I'm not actually sure what it does when you wear it. I imagine it just lowers your HP every step or something like that. But the main draw to it is that you can sell it to an item shop for 1,200 gold, which is not really as significant in Randomizer with the increased gold counts in treasure chests. But in the vanilla game, it's a huge bonus, saving you several minutes off the non-manipulated route.
Both players finding Cantlin at the same time, as well as the Stones of Sunlight Cave, which only had gold.
RCTMid, just on reaction, thought about going to his menu for healing and then realized he had the armor.
7 south, 27 east. This will be a seed without princesses.
Yeah,
Almost for
I
certain.
imagine so.
Yeah, I've found armor. I've found Edric's armor on the ground without getting the princess. At times, like in a location that was over 70 steps away. So I imagine lots of players are prepared for that possibility, and at the very least in straightforward maps they'll have no trouble. This one is a very short distance, so I imagine both players will go for it without the princess. Emptyeye, meanwhile, without the armor, will take a little damage on the way. But with heal more, not a problem. Seven south, 27 east.
Yep. Looks like Emptyeye's writing that down.
Yeah, I try to keep everything in motion. Sometimes I pause a little bit when I'm mapping, but the only major pause I ever actually do is when I'm writing down the coordinates, and it's only because there was one race where I talked to the guy and I was like, oh yay, so there's something on the map, and I cleared it and walked away, and before I realized, hey, I didn't actually write the coordinates down, so I went back, and ever since then I've just like left the window open for 3 seconds and made sure I have them right.
Yeah, it's super important, not just to do it that way, too, to write them down right away, but also because, you know, if you think in your head, oh, it's 7 and 27, and then you exit and you wait until you have time to write it down, you're like, crap, was it 7 north, 7 south?
Absolutely.
You know, it's real important to get that direction correct.
By the way, RCT just discovering yet another Dragon Lord Breath enemy, this time the Wizard. And Wizards...
Oh, boy.
Wizards are it's very unlikely that you'll hurt more them, so they're a hand-to-hand enemy. So less likely that they'll be fought anytime soon by either player.
Yeah, the attack power is still not really where they want it to be.
I am still trying to catch the point where Emptyeye's strength gets to the point where he's going to want to start attacking things. He's still, I haven't seen his stats yet, but again, they could be getting close. Oh, that's right, I have the stats right here.
But if I remember correctly, level 11 was like a plus 15 to strength. So that might be right around that time.
So yeah, RCT 2 levels ahead, still doesn't have enough strength even if he had the sword.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, the big reason for Emptyeye being far behind now is just so many fun police deaths. Not finding the armor also a big factor as well.
But yeah, they're both getting close. I imagine at this pace it'll be level 14, 15, maybe 16 before, if they have everything, they're ready to go. And they do already have all their spells. No worries about return. No worries about getting heal more towards the end.
Yeah, I've still yet to have a seed where I killed the Dragon Lord and did not have the return spell.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to happen in the tournament, and then somebody realizes it, and they're like, oh my god, did I remember to keep a pair of wings? In fact, I've had 2 seeds now where it was faster not to cast return.
Oh yeah, that's
Because
right. 2
Charlotte
seeds where it's a
was
really close walk.
mere steps away from Tantagle.
Emptyeye has now found Cole, and he'll be very happy to find Edric's armor. He is very fully stocked right now. He has the shield, and I believe the only thing he needs is the token now.
Yeah, he just needs the token, and he needs to find the rainbow drop.
That's right, the cave itself. I imagine it's in Gurinham now, because neither player's actually found Gurinham yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be it, right? We've knocked out all the other possible caves.
Yeah, every other cave has been found. RCT taking an even bigger lead level-wise.
Yep, he's got about twice the experience points that Emptyeye does. But Emptyeye has the advantage in items found.
RCT's
so
HP...
Again, it'll be really interesting when that converges.
Absolutely. RCT's HP isn't high enough, but his strength and MP are extremely close. So one more level, if it gives enough HP, maybe 2 more levels, that could be the difference if Emptyeye actually gets enough HP, like from the strength HP build. He might be able to go 1 level sooner.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if RCT does decide to do a gold grind late on. It's a little tougher to do with Erdrick's armor, although there are some tricks you can use to make sure it goes through anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Edric sword in the mountain cave, so RCT still hasn't found the mountain cave, and I'm kind of surprised, because I thought it was fairly close to home.
Looks like Emptyeye is good. Yeah, he just discovered the overworld item, and it was Erdrick's token. That's the one he was hoping for.
There we go.
So he knows now that he doesn't need to find Hawksness in order to complete the game. It just has the third clue.
Token. Yeah. Meanwhile, RCT has found Gorinham, so he'll be able to make his rainbow drop. Oh no, I'm sorry, he's not the one with everything.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get the rainbow drop, and he's going to be disappointed not to find the token in the chests here.
Yeah.
Because that was just the optimal scenario for him. Although he doesn't have the Staff of Rain yet either, does he? So, yeah, either way, this wasn't the time he wanted to find this town. Optimally, you just find this as your last town.
He knows his coordinates, though.
That's right. Yeah, so he's got to decide whether he wants to go for the coordinates or if he wants to try and find Hawksness first. It's looking like he's just going to keep exploring instead of casting Return and going for the overworld item. Emptyeye now just needs to find Gorinham as soon as possible. The quicker he can find the rainbow drop, the quicker he can just go right to Charlock and start grinding.
Yeah, especially if he doesn't find Hawksness. He wants a good, solid grind spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no guarantee, even if he finds Hawksness, that the enemy will be something he wants to grind on. Especially only at level 10, you know, if it's a golem or something that's guarding its own fairy flute, that's going to be real tough to try and grind on. Just to get that first kill to get the flute.
Yeah, we've actually seen that happen fairly often. It's funny, people ask in chat all the time, is that a thing that can happen?
Absolutely is. Yes. It's not really, the odds aren't that bad.
Yeah, it's no surprise that it's happened a lot. With,
I haven't analyzed it, but I mean, obviously it's like a 1 in 3-ish chance for the flute to be in Hawksness. And then, I don't know how many different monsters can be at the tree, but I don't imagine it's more than 5. So
I wanted to say 6, but of course we can go through them fairly quickly between
yeah,
Red Dragon,
believe you
Blue
might
Dragon.
Be right. Go ahead.
Red Dragon, Blue Dragon, Axe Knight, Golem, Armored Knight, and Stone Man. I think that's just 6.
That sounds like a complete list to me. So, well, there you go. It's about a 1 in 18 shot, which is a little over 5%. So it's really not that uncommon.
And I myself have done over 70 races. I've certainly seen it at least twice. There could have also been other times where I didn't have to find Hawksness and I knew it, so I never actually found out.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes it's it's a good goal to, if you haven't found Charlock especially, like you don't really mind finding Hawksness even in that scenario, just in the hopes that you might find, an Axe Knight that you can hurt more repeatedly. Or just, an easy blue dragon, something with stop spell and hurt or something like that, which we have not seen in the seed at all. I don't think we've seen anything with stop spell or anything with hurt. Lots of hurt mores and lots of dragon breaths and a sleep or two. I believe Scorpions had sleep. I don't recall what else.
Both players nearly in the exact same spot. They just both had Hawksness on their screen. Emptyeye is going to check out the Stone Man.
Yeah, Emptyeye found it, but the unfortunate news is that it's a Stone Man, which is not really optimal. It looks like he's going to try and kill it anyway for the Fairy Flute. And if you're there, it's not really a terrible idea, because it's possible that the mini-boss just before Dragon Lord could be Golem. If you don't have the Fairy Flute for that, that could eat up heal mores real fast that you were planning to budget for the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, budgeting for Charlock sometimes becomes a factor when it's simply too far from any town for any other considerations. If you have to go there to grind, for example, you run out of a few things.
Yeah, that can be real frustrating if Charlock is several screens away from an inn. You want to try and grind efficiently, but when you have to leave every 10 minutes just to refill on MP.
So RCT with a 2-level lead, almost double the experience of Emptyeye. but lacking in equipment, still needs to find Gurinham, still needs to find the Mountain Cave, and of course the token on the map.
So RCT's here fighting the Stone Man as well, but he is hoping for Erdrick's token to be here so he doesn't have to do the overworld. But unfortunately, he's going to find only a fairy flute, and it's unlikely that that's going to pay off.
Emptyeye found a golem, but is not fighting it. It is fairly uncommon that fighting golems actually becomes a valuable thing to do in races. It has happened, I've seen it a few times, but it just doesn't happen that often. They do take a while because they have so much HP.
Yeah, it's usually only advisable if your strength is not a limiting factor in your Dragon Lord preparations. If you have a high attack power, golems can be okay, but otherwise they just take too long to kill, even for their maximum XP gain of 255.
Reaching the 50-minute mark now. As I say, they're probably very close to done. I would estimate that it's not going to go higher than level 16. Anything's still possible, but that's my guess based on the averages.
Yeah, for RCT, it's pretty much all about the HP. Everything else should, in theory, line up. Once he finds Erdrick's sword, he's going to have almost enough attack power to go after him. So for RCT, it's about that HP, but because Emptyeye went with the HP build, he's not going to have as much trouble with that. By the time they're both level 16, Emptyeye should have a roughly 8 HP bonus over what RCT has, but he'll also be about 8 agility lower as well.
Axe Knights galore over the world map. I think everyone will agree they're the single best enemy to hurt more in terms of experience and the probability that you can kill them in one hit. Very, very frequent. So yeah, for the next little while, both players are going to be grinding, and RCT is going to be looking for his 2 remaining locations.
Yeah, RCT still has some plot items to find. Emptyeye only has the rainbow drop remaining.
That's right, RCT actually did find Gurinham itself. He just needs to collect the items before he goes there again.
Emptyeye taking a slight risk against that werewolf. Again, puts him to 9 HP, but now he's doing okay. With 70 HP and Erdrick's armor, he's not going to get one-shotted by these werewolves any longer. Which I'm sure is a welcome relief, because I think I saw him die at least 3 times to werewolves.
RCT now finding the mountain cave, so he will get Erdrick's sword. Won't make a difference immediately, but once the grind is over, he'll be ready for Sharlock.
Yeah, that's definitely something he'll be happy to find. I didn't want him to try to dive Sharlock and get those 6 chests in the basement to try and find the sword and only find that it wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't think either player has gotten the fighter's ring. I assume it's in Sharlock.
Yeah, I think that's a good assumption. So now that we've figured that out already, we get to have our early predictions out of chat. Which chest has the fighter's ring? Is it in the treasury? Is it in the Lone Erdrick Sword Cave? Place your bets. I'm going with center left in the treasury.
I've seen people do this. It seems to be a rather common thing in race chat.
I do it on my stream all the time. Love it.
We don't have...
my fiance, unable to watch my stream, wasn't sure which treasure room I was talking about and decided to bet on upper right. I told her she was not correct.
We don't have Emptyeye with the dragon scale, but it's hard to imagine he didn't buy it already, but I guess he could have forgotten, but we'll have to check his items next time.
Everybody's just copying me in chat, going with center left, so we'll see if we're all winners or all losers.
McGrew guesses the sword chest itself.
Oh boy, that's always the one.
I always like pointing out I've only ever had 2 races that had the sword in the sword chest, and they were consecutive races, 2 races in a row.
Very nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Jacob's saying neither of them might check the treasury, and I wouldn't really blame them. But sometimes, if it just ends up, you'd rather go for the ring because it roughly does save about 1 round. So even just 1 more damage against the Dragon Lord over 12 attacks, that could make the difference.
Absolutely. Yeah, I basically consider the fighter's ring to be a level in itself. So even if I find it right away when it seems like it's totally worthless, I'm always really happy because it means it's not something that I have to find later that could make a difference if someone else had it and I didn't.
Oh, RCT finally got the Staff of Rain in Rimmeldar.
So the token and, well, I guess Edric's shield, or the silver shield rather, if he wants it, the only 2 things he needs now. But not sure if he's going to do a gold grind. His agility is fairly decent, so by the time he's strong enough, he might feel he has enough agility to go straight through Sharlock. And it looks like he's manually counting out the token walk right now. But It looks like he's having some trouble processing because he's got to go further south than required to get around this water.
Yeah, it's always tough when you have to start out by going west even when you want to go east. You have that mental gut check on whether or not you want to save the princess if it's worth it. But it looks like the map should cooperate for him, hopefully.
He's around the water now, so if he didn't have any trouble with it, he's going to be there very soon. I think he still has to go around this chunk of water. Oh, he's going backwards. Oh, yeah, he lost count.
Yeah, he had to abort. He cast return. And he got to start over. But luckily, it's only 34 steps away from Tanagal, or I guess maybe a bit more since he has to take the roundabout way to do it, but it's really not that bad. Especially when you cast Repel around Zone 0. You're not going to run into any enemies to distract you.
RCT now going the opposite direction, this time north around the water. Yeah, for certain players it can take longer to work out the counting process, but it's still undeniably faster than going to the swamp cave on the opposite side of the map if it happens to be really far away and rescuing the princess, getting Gwaelin's love, and then using it as a guide.
Yeah, but not only that, but you've got the extra endgame messaging from the princess when she butts into the crowning ceremony.
Always worth considering another extra 10 seconds or so.
Absolutely, can definitely make the difference. As Sparkover will tell you. RCT hits level 14.
5 power and a lot of HP. He's getting very close now.
That's the big one that he needed. That's the stat that really, really stands out.
Strength HP probably still wouldn't be enough yet, but they're getting very close.
Yeah, 13 is about halfway to what he wanted to grab. So hopefully no more than level 16 is required for him. And, he's obviously hoping just next level, if he can pick up 1 more heal more and about 20 HP, he'll be ready to go.
RCT still very carefully counting out the route to the token. Might give Emptyeye a little bit of catch-up time, though certainly not all the catch-up time to equalize experience.
Yeah, Emptyeye is still trying to find Garenham. He's got everything except the rainbow drop, and that's the one big thing. Once he's got the rainbow drop, he's off and running to Charlock.
So a very interesting clash of divergent goals slowly beginning to converge on the endgame. We'll see what happens. RCT searches once and finds nothing, so he's going to search the nearby tiles.
Yeah, he's right there, almost. No, oh, he's so close. I've had these moments so many times too, where I just miscount by one, but then once you miscount by one, you gotta check everything in a one-tile radius. There he goes.
Nice.
Finally found the spot.
I myself have had 2 or 3 where I was off by 1 square, but I did have one where I wasn't sure which direction I was off, and I ended up searching 8 squares before I got it.
Alright, so RCT now has all 3 components for the rainbow drop and knows where to get it.
So I presume with the lack of a good grind spot in places like Hawksness, he will check out Sharlock, maybe do a dive, see if he can get a fighter's ring while he's building, perhaps.
Yeah, with Stoneman at Hawksness, it's definitely looking like Sharlock might be the optimal spot. Well, we'll see what's in there, because, you know, the Red Dragons were crushing them early on, and if they show up again in Sharlock, that might turn them off a bit.
One of the major reasons I favor the Strength Agility build is Armored Knights and Red Dragons in Sharlock, but sometimes they don't show up at all. Sometimes there are no Red Dragons at all, and the walk is just a breeze. And in those situations,
sometimes they just have Stop Spell and Hurt anyway, and you don't care about Red Dragons.
Yeah.
So it's still an interesting debate between Strength Agility and Strength HP. And we're seeing the 2 clash right here in this first race. So far, RCT with an early lead, but he still needs about 14 HP minimum to even think about going after the Dragon Lord. And Emptyeye, once he hits level 14, he's not going to need very much more HP.
So if all the HP gains are very small from here, we could see Emptyeye have the equalizing factor, being able to go 1 level sooner, assuming he finds Gurinham and everything else is okay. Still just excellent grind enemies absolutely everywhere they're going, so it's not that much of a factor being out in the overworld for so long. They're still progressing along their way.
Yep. Yeah, it's always that balance of exploration and grinding. If you can do both at the same time efficiently, then you're doing great.
We're past the 1 minute mark and definitely nearing the end of the
Oh, and a smile creeps on Emptyeye's face. He just found Gurinham. He knows what that means. That's a rainbow drop. So that'll give him everything he needs.
race. If the citizens of Gurinham ever let him in.
Wow, yeah, that phalanx. He's going to open the chest in Gurinham anyway. He's hoping for a fighter's ring.
Finally dropping one of his 4 cursed belts.
I wasn't sure if he was going to drop a belt or what. If it was worth it.
Meanwhile, RCT also arriving in Gurinham to get the rainbow drop.
Get the rainbow drop at almost the same time.
So the only major difference is I don't think RCT has a silver shield.
Right.
But he does have a lead, and again, it all depends what's in Sharlock and how fierce they are in terms of their spells.
Yeah, it might be too late, really, for him to do a gold grind, though. I think he's just going to try and go with small shield. That's my prediction.
I'm surprised he hasn't found a large shield, but it is possible for there to be no large shield in an entire seed, and I have beaten at least 2 seeds with the small shield.
You know, I don't even think he really looked for it. I don't recall him checking all the Cantlin weapon shops for it.
Yeah, he just might not have thought of it.
Yeah, I believe it's only, what, a 3 defense boost? Correct me on that by all means. Over the small shield.
Yeah, I don't remember the difference between them specifically.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up right now, but I know the game FAQs are not necessarily accurate on that front. They also say the Silver Shield provides 25 defense, which I know is not correct.
Yeah, it's a shame. I've looked through a couple of those, and I don't think I found one guide that was absolutely accurate on all points.
Yeah. Yeah, the Silver
Yeah,
Shield is definitely 20. Which does make a difference, especially in the dive itself in Charlock. Less so against Dragonlord itself, but if you can encounter, blue dragons and green dragons and axe knights that you can pass the defense threshold on, so that they only hit you for about 3 damage. That's pretty huge on your resource pool. You want to keep all the heal more as you can.
both players entering Charlock at just about the same time, so we'll get an
Wow, yeah.
introduction to all the enemies on all 3 floor zones fairly quickly.
Yep, and so they're primarily just going down here for grinding. You can especially tell with Emptyeye, both players, and yeah, RCT using to hurt more. They're not being shy about their MP usage. I imagine they'll try and dive as far as they can, but if they run out of MP, they'll just hit a quick outside and hit up the nearest inn.
Always worth checking what's in that grind zone downstairs. In addition, even if it's like something like another Stone Man or Golem, they can always grind nearby on the desert tiles as well.
Yeah, and it's always useful to check out what the mini boss is as well. To know if you need to budget another heal more or not.
Wizards, in addition to having Dragonlord Breath, have heal.
Oh boy. Yeah, wizards are usually one of the things you want to find in Charlock, because they don't have very high strength, so it's easy to get enough agility so that they don't deal damage to you. But when they have Dragon Breath and they're a pain in the butt to kill because of their healing, then that's not so great. On the plus side, they are very easy to run away from.
So
Especially with
Wyverns-
RCT's agility. He's already up to 82 agility, so he's better than a coin flip to run away from everything except for the 2 toughest monsters to run from, Red Dragons and Armored Knights.
So Star Wyverns, Wizards, and Stone Men so far on the first 2 floors, obviously both players wanting to find something better on the deeper floors. So no question they're not going to stay on the top floor and try grinding there, they're going to be looking for something better.
Yeah, and again, I think they're going to try and dive to that treasury just to find the fighter's ring, and also that mini boss knowledge. So they're just going to go as far as they can and learn as much as they can. All right, Emptyeye hitting level 13.
Been a while since the last level gain.
Yeah, but a nice fat 21 MP at level 13.
Yeah, RCT now probably 2 battles away from level 15, depending on what he finds.
Yeah, Star Wyvern, that should definitely put him halfway there.
Yeah, he'll be 11 away, I think. Oh, no. Oh, I had their experience wrong.
Yeah, no, 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Stone Man at the Hawksness Tree, so Charlock is still more efficient. Stone Man, roughly the least efficient thing in Hawksness. And
7
yeah.
power.
Yeah, so
max
he's already
HP
up to
only 90.
135 attack power.
So here we go with RCT is totally ready to go except for max HP. It's possible that Emptyeye could go at level 15 on strength HP.
Yeah, that's right. He'll have just enough HP to do it. So
If he only
RCT
has,
has to go quick
90
outside to heal up at 31 MP already. I don't know how far away the nearest inn is. He might be saving some for the trip. Nope. There's
There
a
it
town
is.
right there. So that's convenient. It's just Brecconary, but you can still buy herbs and get an inn trip in, so...
Yeah, it's possible to go at 90 HP, and I would do it if I could calculate that, you know, the number of times that I'm going to be fire breathed into the danger zone is going to be compensated for by the quantity of heal mores that I have. It is a possibility, but I doubt that RCT is there, and I think he's going to build another level.
And I'll point out RCT using the trick, you cast the repel spell just before you stay at the inn, and that's going to put your repel counter, your step counter, up to max. Even though the trip up to Charlock isn't very long, you know, it's still nice to have that repel up so you don't just randomly run into a blue slime and waste a few seconds here and there.
Yeah, every encounter you have to run from seems to be about 4 or 5 seconds, and they can add up quickly.
Yeah, sometimes you get unlucky and you find, you know, 4 or 5 enemies that you just don't care about on the way.
It appears
RCT leaving again real fast. I wonder if he forgot to buy herbs.
that looks like what it is, and I can't help but wonder if he actually wants to try.
Oh no,
fighting the
he's
Dragon
going
Lord
for a
now.
large shield, I think. Yeah, and he found it.
There we
So
go.
he did find a large shield. This is also where the silver shield is, but I doubt very highly that he's going to come up with enough gold at this point. Especially since he probably only needs 1 more level. 1 or 2 at most. And the gold's just not going to be there.
Emptyeye very close to level 14 now. There are armored knights, so he's probably only about 5 battles or less away after he defeats this armored knight. So he'll be 1 level behind, and again, if he can go at level 15, that could mean we could have a photo finish with RCT 1 level higher.
Yeah, unfortunately, Emptyeye just ran out of MP. He's not even able to cast outside here. So he's trying to just run and walk back to Brecconary, but it's not looking like that's going to work out for him. So he's just going to keep diving and try and make it as far as he can. If he can get that fighter's ring just before he dies. He does still have 6 herbs, so I think he's just planning on dying to get himself out of Charlock once he's picked up what he can. But here's an armored knight in his way. They
Armored
do
knights.
have small dragon breath, so that's actually a nice bonus. With Erdrick's armor on, that's only going to hit you for about 12 damage. So that's better than a regular attack. It's going to give him a little extra time to try and run away.
Getting so close now. Unfortunately, this is essentially a waste of time, given the fact that he can't fight anything along the way. This is all time that he's not grinding. Even though he doesn't realize it right now, it would be better for him to just be killed as a result of not being able to run, and then he can just pick up the ring later when he comes down.
Yeah, well, here we get to find out right here.
That one was the wings, it looks like.
Yep, whoever said bottom right was incorrect.
Another wings. Gold.
I said center left, as did Jacob. Yeah, we were all wrong. That is
Herb.
minor gold. How about the center?
McGrew wins!
No!
McGrew wins the betting pool! Fighter's ring is in the
McGrew.
sword chest.
Calling it in the sword chest. Wonderful. So Emptyeye now just gonna try and attack this armored knight in the hopes that it kills him. But he might kill it first. He got in 3 decent attacks. So he got an extra 172 without really trying. Oh, he is using herbs, so he does still want to try and find out what the mini-boss is, but I think this next armored knight is gonna ruin that day.
McGrew says at level 15, Emptyeye should have 97 or 98 HP. That's exactly what I'm predicting as well. So yeah, I do expect him to be able to go at level 15. All the other stats look okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of close to the minimum for what you would want, but it's definitely enough. Oh, all right. Emptyeye does manage to get past the Armored Knight with starting with only about 40 HP in that fight, thanks to the small Dragon Breaths. So he's still on his way to find out what the mini boss is, and he kills one more Axe Knight. He's going to hit level 14. RCT also on his way to find out what the mini boss is. He's going to get there sooner. He's also got lots of MP. He has not had an issue.
I'm not sure what can...
The mini boss is an Armored Knight. So
Good for
that's
grinding
actually
if you
probably
have
pretty
MP.
desirable. Knowing that it has small Dragon Breath, it's not likely to cost a heal more to kill. Indeed, RCT kills it in 2 shots. So he's just going straight for the Dragon Lord, it looks like.
Wow,
He's
yeah.
give it a go.
So I'm going to say his odds are extremely low. Like, I'm going to say confidently that they're below 30% with the amount of HP he has in contrast to his MP.
Yeah,
you know, it's
I mean,
possible.
he's going in with 12 heal mores. It's all about his HP here. He's got to get real lucky. Especially with no Silver Shield. He's not going to get too many free turns.
That's right, he's used one of his heal mores as well, so he's only at 12. So yeah, I put the odds very low, like probably below 20% with only 12 heal mores.
Yeah, he didn't get a favorable deal one fight. He wasn't able to win. Oh, he's actually in real trouble. He has no herbs left, and he's got 46 HP, so if he gets ambushed in Dragon Breath, it might be a game over.
I personally, in terms of the optimal results, you know, if we want him to win, I really hope he keeps track of everything and realizes that he's going to have to hurt more at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he started out this fight having to heal more, so he's basically just going in with 11. And yeah, every Dragon Breath's just doing 46 to him. He has to YOLO on almost every hit. And yeah, this Dragon Lord did not want to put up with that.
He doesn't know it right now, but that's the best result he could have possibly gotten.
Exactly,
you know.
yeah. Well, I mean, the best result is he Jackamus Wedge hurt more twice in one.
Exactly.
But I think you have to be wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat for that to work. And I don't know one, so. I think we all need to invest.
So the good news for RCT here, he's hurt mooring an enemy right now, but if he realizes it, because he has all the other stats, the only thing he's missing is HP, he could actually build his final level on the way down and get the HP he needs.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like there were too many enemies in Charlock. I mean, did we even see red dragons at all?
No.
So it really seemed like Charlock was not a big threat. He made it through all of Charlock without using a heal more on his last dive. So he's probably just going to duplicate that. Well, actually he's going for hurt more, so he's just going to grind and cast outside with Brecconary so close. I don't believe he bought herbs either. So he's going to need to do that at some point anyway.
So it's time to start looking at experience. RCT needs 1,700 more for his next level, and Emptyeye just missed his window popping up there. But we'll probably see it here. He needs, let's see, 1,800 more. Mm-hmm. So very, very, very close.
And I am curious if either of them are going to try for the fighter's ring. I mean, Emptyeye does appear to be heading towards the basements, while RCT is just hanging out right in the entry foyer.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know if RCT knows it, but just looking at the stats, I think that RCT will be okay without the fighter's ring, especially since he's getting an extra level.
Yeah,
one over Emptyeye.
They've got the attack power. It's all about the HP, and if level 16 is going to be enough, if level 16 is not enough for RCT here, that could be a significant problem. Because we're predicting 15 is enough for Emptyeye, and if RCT has to be 2 levels behind, that time difference might make it a second place finish.
I'm predicting that it's likely that RCT, like, even if he doesn't get 7 HP, he'll still get enough, as well as the additional other stats, that his Dragon Lord fight would be favorable odds, even if he's not in the safe zone. But still, you never know what he's going to get. He just might not get enough every single time.
Right, like we talk about 97 hit points kind of being the bare minimum you want to go with based on the Dragon Lord's Fire Breath doing a maximum of 48 damage. But it's possible, you can go at 95 HP simply because the Dragon Lord's Fire Breath doesn't always do 48. It can do 42, 44, 46, 48, I believe.
Yep.
So you've got a nice spread there. If it only hits you for 42, you still get an attack in. Otherwise, you have to heal more. And, I mean, I have to imagine both of these guys are just paranoid that the other has already finished at this point. I know, I definitely get that feeling. And with these guys unable to really look at chat at all, it's just, it's mental right now, trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I know how nerve-wracking it's been in races to finally get into Sharlock, and almost every floor of the way, almost every attack on the Dragon Lord, you're wondering and looking at the SRL chat. Has anybody else finished yet?
Constantly. I play on 2 monitors, one with the game up and one with the chat. And yeah, just glancing over from time to time.
I do like Emptyeye's idea of going for the fighter's ring while he's grinding his last level, potentially his last level here. And it looks like the people in chat agree. Seems to be the right thing to do, and we'll see if it pays off for him. He's almost there now, already going up, ascending the staircases.
Yeah, he's got plenty of MP left, so there's no reason he wouldn't be able to get it. And since he's kind of grinding on the way, this is basically free. And so it's going to save him around on the Dragon Lord, most likely.
It does look like he's trying to conserve his MP and maybe go for it with 12 heal mores. Obviously, he's hoping that he gets enough stats from this level to make that a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know about that decision necessarily. The way I would play, I would just try and grind as quickly as possible, cast outside, and then re-dive. But it is definitely possible that it's faster to do it his way.
That's the beauty of Randomizer. He just doesn't know yet until he sees the stats.
Yeah, he does have enough agility to where most things are not hitting him for significant damage, so that's a really nice bonus. If you're trying to save on MP, if you don't need to use heal mores, then that's the way to do it. He's still able to kill green dragons and star wyverns. There's his ring.
He's very happy about it.
He raises the fist in triumph. Although, that was the last chest. I don't believe he skipped any.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Emptyeye did get a dragon scale.
He does have the scale in his inventory, so yeah, I didn't see him put it on himself, but let's assume it. Either way, the scale does not really make a big difference in the Dragon Lord fight itself.
Emptyeye with one final torch, so he is indeed trying to set himself up for a level 15 victory without healing. I don't think he'll be quite there without his 13th heal more. But if he does decide to go for it, he could get above average rolls. He's within that zone where it's a possibility.
Yeah, definitely, although he's still a little ways away. He's about 750 experience out, which in terms of Axe Knights is about 6 Axe Knights away, so he's still got a little ways to go. But hopefully, if you can just time it right so you're standing right in front of the Dragon Lord where that last battle gives you the level. That's what you're aiming for.
I was surprised he fought that blue dragon, but he didn't take too much damage from each attack. But yeah, he's in mid-health range and now fighting an Axe Knight, which is the same problem. Sometimes it takes 3 attacks, as it does this time, to kill him.
Yeah, he has to fade a dodge here. If the Axe Knight dodged, he was just going to reprisal and kill him on the spot. And he's using herbs instead of heal mooring.
So he is going for it now on the 3rd last floor.
Yeah, that seems to be his plan. RCT did hit level 16 while we've been talking about Emptyeye this whole time, and he did get the HP he needed, so He's heading to Breckenary, he's picking up herbs, he's going to the inn, and he's gone.
Also, interestingly enough, an enormous attack boost, so even if there were red dragons, he'd have plenty of safety options to get through.
Yeah, there is no issue at all. I will point out there does seem to be a discrepancy in the program. It's showing that he has a max of 101 HP while he has a max of 102.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So pay no attention to that, everybody watching the stream. And once again, taking the eastern exit.
Emptyeye now reaching the bottom floor, just about to get level 15 and just about to find out what's over there on the east side.
Yeah, he is one Axe Knight away.
Once again, choosing to fight an enemy that's going to take a minimum of 3 attacks, this time the Armored Knight, which does more damage. But he seems very confident in his method.
Yeah, I mean, he's hoping for the small dragon breasts, which he didn't get, but here is level 15, and he'll be elated to see he probably can figure out he's got the stats to take on the Dragon Lord. His gamble has paid off.
The Fighter's Ring definitely helps compensate for that heal more. I actually forgot about that, because RCT got there without the Fighter's Ring. This is definitely a fight that I would say is above 50%. How far above remains to be seen, but there's a definite shot here.
Yeah, one problem is that he's going to be on a bit of a deficit on herbs. He's already used a few on the way down, and he's got an Armored Knight to contend with as the mini-boss. Ooh, and another one just ambushed him beforehand. He's trying to run away, but I think he realizes he's going to have to use a heal more. This is not what he wanted. Oh, he did finally get a clutch run.
How many herbs left? He's got to use his last one. There we go.
Yeah, he is out of herbs, so the Dragon Lord 1 fight's going to be much tougher.
Wow, we really couldn't have hoped for a more epic ending to this very first race.
Yeah, I mean, it's all on Emptyeye right now. He's got to be able to tough it out through the Dragon Lord. Because RCT's fight is basically free. And he's going to get there within the next couple minutes. Emptyeye with only 60 hit points. And the math's not right. He doesn't have any free regular heal spells. He's going to have to use a heal more rather than walk heal. 37 steps up to full.
So that makes this battle a lot closer for the Dragon Lord. Might give the Dragon Lord an edge, but of course that's all going to depend on how this part goes. Yeah, I don't know now,
because I mean, you figure he's basically got to have a really lucky Dragon Lord 1 fight. And he starts off with a hurt more, so that's not what he wants to see. He wants to see Stop Spell. With Erdrick's Armor on, you are immune to Stop Spell, and those are all free turns. Now, much better second turn, and he does manage to 3-hit the Dragon Lord still.
I just went through the math. Oh no, he got attacked first. If he got the first attack, I was going to give him a big edge, and now it's going to be really close.
Yeah, now he's only got 10 heal mores effectively.
And he doesn't get the double attack in the beginning. That ambush is so harsh. So that's going to be the difference. He needs good rolls all the way through. So I'm going to track his damage. So far he's done 32.
Yeah, he's doing okay on the damage front. Not great.
Yeah, both of those were above his average.
Yeah, actually a little below average, I believe.
I think the average right now is around 13 or 14.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm doing the math wrong.
What's the number? 16. There we go. That makes 61. So it's still above average, which is going to compensate for 1 heal more, but will it be enough? The positive here... Hang on.
Yeah, but
17.
RCT is right on his heels. He's already started his Dragon Lord 1 fight.
Wow. A very epic finish going on here.
Yeah, this doesn't get much closer.
92. Yeah, he is definitely ahead now. He's well above 50% to win, and he doesn't have to worry about anything the Dragon Lord does. It literally doesn't matter.
Wow.
104. with 3 heal mores left. That makes 121. He is the favorite.
Yeah, I think he's got this one. It's so close, though.
4 attacks left. It's going to be enough very close to 100% of the time. There's only a 9 for 130.
Oh, there's the first real bad roll. If he just keeps getting 9s, it's possible he loses this fight.
143.
Oh.
So with 2 attacks left, he is virtually guaranteed. The 9s are possible, but it looks like he's going to pull ahead and win this one. 154.
Oh, it's still possible. This last attack might not do it.
And there we go.
Oh, we got it. 16 damage.
Well done, Emptyeye, coming down to the
Holy
level choice
cow.
for the victory.
Meanwhile, RCT has 146 attack power, so he is just crushing the Dragon Lord. He's going to have several heal mores left at the end of it, but it's too late.
Really
it
excellent
looks like
strategy.
He's
And
gonna lose by under a minute. Oh my goodness.
so very close. Very excellent, commendable strategy by Emptyeye. He did the exact right thing, took huge risks at the end, and actually ended up burning a heal more than everyone thought he could, and still ended up winning with high damage rolls.
Wow. And RCT finishes. But just barely too late. And we can see, I mean, we talked about it right at the beginning before they even started. We talked about the different stat change with Emptyeye favoring HP and RCT going with agility. Emptyeye was able to go a level earlier, and that was all the difference.
36 seconds apart.
Wow, what a great first race. GG to both competitors. That was fantastic. Ah, well done.
Congratulations to Emptyeye. Again, everything we could have hoped for in terms of something entertaining to watch. A very close race. Lots of clashes of ideals. Strength HP against strength agility. Armor versus sword going into development.
Yeah, I mean, we can look back on this and say so many little things made the difference really here. You know, RCT selling his Erdrick's armor on accident. You know, so many fun police deaths for Emptyeye. You know, whenever a race is this close, any number of things could have gone a different way and had the other player come up the victor. But in this first race here, it's Emptyeye.
So it looks like they're trying to join us on Discord for post-race commentary.
Alright, I'm looking forward to that. See what they were thinking the whole time. Alright, bear with us a little bit while we get everybody hooked up.
So this race was actually for my next opponent, for my first race, which will be sometime after the 23rd. I think the round starts on the 23rd, but I don't think I'll be available that day, so any evening after the 23rd.
Anytime that weekend, really. And yeah, that's correct. Emptyeye will be facing you, NESCardinality, in your round next week. RCTMid moves on to the losers bracket, where I believe I had looked this up before. He is going to be playing against the loser of Jay Coper's match, which has yet to be determined.
We have another... There we go, that's RCT, we can hear you.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Such a close race, such an amazingly close finish.
Oh my god, that was a fantastic race for both of you.
So I did two stupid things. So first thing, I accidentally bought chainmail and coal right after picking up Erdrick's armor. Did anybody see that?
Yeah.
I'm walking through a swamp later on going, why am I taking damage? But then I don't know why I tried for Dragon Lord with 90 HP. Any hit without Silver Shield and any Dragon Breath is going to put me without out of range for attacks. That cost me the race.
Yeah, it raised a lot of questions in the chat because we really weren't sure if you were going to be able to pick up Erdrick's armor again.
Oh
And
yeah,
Recruit
I've done
kind of
that
straightened it
before.
out for us.
I've done that before, so it wasn't a matter of wondering what to do. It was just Cole was way out of the way. So, well, not way out of the way, but it was like there was nothing else over there, so it was just a waste of time there. But the biggest waste of time was the 10-minute.
Might be my problem now.
Yeah, there's
is it
Emptyeye on the chat
Hey,
for us.
congratulations,
Yes,
man.
GG.
Yeah, well done to both of you. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better first race, less than a minute apart.
Yeah, that was a little bit frightening. So RCT, did you explore the bottom of Garen's grave at all by any chance?
I did. I think it was an herb.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so you did actually skip those chests then, MTI. So you weren't
did,
actually
yes.
sure about that
Yeah.
fighter's ring at the very end.
Right, yeah, so I was gambling at that point because...
No, we didn't need a fighter's ring anyway.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know about that. MTI actually-
I don't know. That fighter's ring, it came down to the last attack for me. So.
Oh, so did you do a different build than I did?
I did strength HP.
Oh, okay.
So I had
so he was
97
able
at
to go a
15.
little earlier than you as well. MTI went at 15,
Yeah.
and you went at 16.
Well, because you had better HP build. Yeah.
Yep, he had exactly
yep.
97
I had
HP, so he was
97.
able to withstand it.
See,
Yep,
I
came down to the
went
last attack for me, so...
Emptyeye. I went to the Dragon Lord at level 15 with 90 HP. Stupid decision.
Yeah.
Because that was my 10 minutes right there.
Yeah, well, you know what? It was a risk. Obviously, if it had paid off, you'd have won this race.
Yeah,
minutes to
you'd have-
spare.
Yeah, for me, the big thing was not being able to find Garenham, and I think what I need to do
way
is start, like...
It was like way off.
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
middle of nowhere.
nowhere in particular, and, like, my other thing is I need to get better at, like, noting... Because I don't really make maps, I just kind of note where things are.
Oh, yeah. This one you really did need a map. There was some tricky things.
Or at the very least, what I need to do is note where things aren't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I was like, oh, I've been here already, and I'm 99% sure there's nothing there, but let me check again, just to, make absolutely sure. So I was doing all of that.
Because I don't think the peninsula that Garenham was on, I don't think it connected to the mainland at all. I think you had to go up through north of Camp Lynn. I think that's the only way to get through it, like one little isthmus.
Yeah, the one little peninsula, yeah, but yeah,
Did I
so...
just use the word isthmus?
Isthmus,
It was, like,
good
legit.
word.
Yeah, Dragon Warrior Randomizer, if nothing else, teaches us all a bit of geography.
It teaches us all words. Yeah.
I am so disappointed, although, again, great race, MTI. I'm
Yeah,
just so
exactly.
disappointed
Great
that I
race.
tried
That was-
that.
Yeah, GG to both of you guys. It was
Yeah.
really, really cool to watch, especially not just with the different stat builds that you guys decided to go with, but early on in the race, RCT jumped out to a big experience lead, but MTI had the items lead.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see how
Okay.
those two would try to converge, and
Kind
it
of how it
worked
was
out
going to
almost
converge,
perfectly.
yeah. So, yeah, my grinding, or lack thereof, was like, well, Stone Man isn't really
Yeah.
a great enemy to be grinding on in Hawksmith.
Yeah, you two
so.
both pretty much made the same decision to grind in Charlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some nice. It was pretty easy. Green dragons at the entrance was nice. So, like, I
Yeah.
was two hitting those. Although you probably didn't have the power that I had, but I was two hitting those. to get
Yeah,
to
no, I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
I
other
think
really
I-
nice thing about Charlock was the no fun police. They were
Yeah,
basically-
that was
I don't think
nice,
they were originally
because-
all that I saw there are the
That was
and the
part of
armored
my-
knights weren't so bad either.
Armor Knights
That was
weren't
part
bad,
of my
no.
decision for going at level 15, even with 90 HP. I thought, no red dragons. I know I'll
Yep.
get there, except an armored knight caught me for a minute. But
Yeah.
I just, I forgot to take into account no silver shield, so even physical attacks could have taken
Okay, yeah,
me.
so they were gonna... Yeah, I did have a silver shield, so...
Yeah.
That helped me a lot, too.
Yeah, MTI managed to do a gold grind early on.
It would have
Yeah.
been pretty easy to do with the shrine at the bottom of Tanagel. I just didn't want to waste. I didn't want to waste the time.
Yeah, that was what I ended up, like, that was another sort of gamble I took, was when I did that gold grind, I did not initially know that was going to be a gold chest. So I'm like, I didn't even know it was down there, actually. So.
Yeah,
okay.
he definitely. We saw him taking the risk, and I
That's cool.
predicted, just in case. What if it's the shrine, and what if it has a chest in
Right,
it with
very
gold?
nice.
Yeah, that was
It
what I
worked
did. I was
out
like, well, I've got one
beautifully.
more shot at this. I might as well. So,
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh, what a race! I'm glad
yeah.
it came down to being so close. I'm disappointed because I know, like, without that. Although I don't know. What do you guys think? Was like, give me a percentage in terms of.
I was saying during the race you were less
going.
than 20% to beat the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, real low.
Yeah, with 90 HP and no silver shield, you're just not gonna get the time.
No.
Yeah, like, I actually wasn't even sure about my chances, necessarily, even with the extra heal mores and whatnot.
Yeah, it wasn't a given, and obviously, I mean, you came down to the last attack.
No, it was not. Yeah, I knew that, but it was like...
Yeah, and I think we predicted you had a little better than 50% chance, but it certainly wasn't a given like RCT's final shot at 16. That level 16 fight was free, so we saw Emptyeye ahead by roughly a minute trying to kill the Dragon Lord, and it was all on him, because if you failed to kill the Dragon Lord on your run, RCT was going to clean it up right after.
Yeah. I kind of figured, like, it was like, well, this is what it's going to come down to. Like, I'm down here. I had kind of made a decision, especially after I got the level. I was like, all right, this is sort of on the borderline, but I figured I was behind for a bunch of reasons, so I was like, well...
especially with seeing what my level 16 was like and how it took me like 3 minutes to grind to it. That's, again, another reason why I was so... Whatever. You make a decision, I thought to myself, it's a tournament race, I just got to take the risk.
Yeah.
But that was too much. I think you're going to need at least 94, 95. I mean, 96 is the sweet spot, but I mean, with 135 attack power, you could probably get away with 94, 93, but that's even... Jeez.
Yeah, level 16 brought another 9 strength, I believe.
Oh, yeah, so that would have been...
that really made that fight free.
Well, the biggest thing
that
was
would have made it.
HP for me, or something like that.
Yeah, but the fighter's ring being in that, like, I'm pretty sure I lose that race if the fighter's ring is not in that location.
Where did you find it?
Vanilla Lodo's sword, or Erdrick's sword.
Oh, you actually went to the very...
Yeah, after I checked the treasury, it wasn't there. I was like, well, I've got...
Fantastic. What a great decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely worked out.
Yeah, that is...
You wouldn't have beat Dragon Lord without that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It was close.
Especially you went in with effectively 10 heal mores, right?
Yep. Yeah, because I had no herbs, and then, I got... DL2 got the first attack on me, and I was like, well, great. So I had to, pretty much immediately burn a heal more there, so...
I think I went in with 13 heal mores. So you had low MP as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 16 didn't give much of an MP boost, no extra heal mores on it, so you had to lose 1 on the way.
Yeah, I had to, I think, I lost 1 after the Armored Knight, and then, because I figured at that point I was next to the Dragon Lord, and I was like, well, at this point, if I cast just regular heal, it's going to drop me down a heal more anyway, because I was, like, right on that border.
Yeah,
you
had 97 MP, and we saw you making the decision. You were standing right in front of the Dragon Lord with 60 hit points, no herbs, and exactly 97 MP. You're like,
I'm like, well, I might as well throw the heal more at that point and just get it to full, so...
Well, I mean, I'm kind of torn because on the one hand, I'm glad I don't have to play Ness, but on the other hand...
Yeah, of course, that's the consolation prize for RCT.
Exactly.
Next matchup is against the final boss himself, NESCardinality.
That's right. Those like riddles that are like one door leads to your freedom and one door leads to death, and you can only ask a limited number of questions.
That's right.
I feel like what just happened was I did one of those riddles, and they were like, "Congratulations, you picked the right door." But guess what? We were just kidding. The other door also leads to death.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I have to sit here...
RCTMid, you're going to be facing the loser of Jay Coper's match, which has yet to be determined. The play-in for his is between Bresticle and Gielkeja. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right at all. And I don't know when their race is scheduled, but it's sometime this week. So you'll get to see at least one of your 2 potential next opponents.
Okay, cool.
And on the other side of the coin, I had to sit here and watch Emptyeye make all the correct decisions, go 1 level less with the strength HP build, get the fighter's ring in the 1 remaining location, have the smarts to get his final level on the way, survive with just barely enough heal mores, make all the right decisions in terms of how many heal mores he could use, and squeak in that victory against the Dragon Lord with 1 attack remaining.
Yep, that was my last attack,
Wow. So, that's exciting. What an exciting finish, because at the same time, I'm at the Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
He dies. I've got the race. Yeah, what a cool finish.
Yeah, there was no question you'd be able to finish off that Dragon Lord once you started it. It was all about Emptyeye's success, and it was definitely possible. Even on the last hit, he only, I believe, had about 153 damage on it.
Yeah.
So it was possible that even the last attack wasn't going to do it, but he managed to pull a 16 damage attack for the guarantee.
Emptyeye, I love you and hate you right now.
I'm sure we're going to have a lot of those reactions all throughout this.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I really love this community. I mean, that's exactly it. We're all pretty competitive, but at the same time, I've just really enjoyed being a part of this. So,
yeah,
it's just a great, a lot of fun. So,
if every race is like this one, everyone will be so thoroughly entertained. We couldn't have asked for a better race.
My heart could take it.
Oh man. Well, I think probably we've covered everything.
I think so. Yeah. You know, as for me, you know, if this were like a longer series, if it were, you know, like a best of 7 to go to the next round, let's say, you know, obviously I'd be like, well, I'm, you know, screwed. But the beauty of Randomizer is, you know, like Ness, like you said, if in any given seed I have a shot, if a couple things go right for me, and you know, one or two things go right for me, and one or two things go wrong for you, you know, it's
And I gotta say, Game Boy was talking yesterday about when he was talking about me in particular. He mentioned inconsistency, and I do see that a lot with me. Just I'll make like serious mistakes every now and then, like selling the Erdrick's armor. You know, it's funny because I can do so many. Like I can off the bat, I got off to such a great exploration and experience as I was exploring. Like I had no problem getting Healmore level 2 or whatever level that was.
Yeah.
Like, no problem getting everywhere I wanted to go. I got sniped by a couple of enemies, but really just it was like walking anywhere I wanted, exploring anywhere I am, and getting some really good levels. And yet then I, you know, make a decision that cost me the race, and so I'm really I want to work on that a little bit just to.
Yeah. On a brighter note, you actually have no idea which level you got Healmore at, because your very first kill was a skeleton that gained you 2 levels and immediately got Healmore.
That's right.
That's true. Yeah.
Could have been level 3.
I think it was 2, because I think my first kill was a scorpion, so I was one experience short of level 3. Yeah.
Yeah, he managed to make it outside of Zone 0 for his first kill.
One of the challenges I have is just like I don't, you know, there was a certain point where my 4-year-old walked in the kitchen and wanted apple juice and things like that. So it's like I'm okay with being inconsistent because I get to play these and it's just part of having a family and stuff. I'm never going to have the time to sit and practice a lot and get like expert. I'm just having a blast being a part of it. I just wish it hadn't come down to 30 seconds after a blunder like that, you know. But you learn now I know through the pain of it that 90 is definitely not enough.
Yeah, I mean, every time
there are just things you have to learn through hard experience.
Exactly. You know, you'll probably never make that mistake again.
Right. Yeah.
That's the plan anyway.
That's the plan.
Yeah. You will notice I did not try to. You will notice I did not try to walk up my HP in front of the Dragon Lord because that was a mistake I've made, especially when I didn't need to one time. But,
yeah, that was actually a bit of contention in the chat. Some people disagreed with you casting the Healmore. They would have rather you walk 37 steps to try and do it. For the record, I'm on your side.
Good to hear.
Not just because it happened to work out for you this time.
Right, no.
It's not like you had stellar agility. I mean, it was good enough, but an Armored Knight could have put an end to that quickly.
Yeah, he actually, I don't remember if it was the first trip to the Dragon Lord's floor or the second trip, but one Armored Knight nearly did. I failed to run like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it was the second trip. You had an Armored Knight that was just before the mini-boss.
Yeah.
That put you down to about 20 hit points, but you were lucky in that it used the baby dragon breath.
Yeah, the baby fire breath, yeah. So
I had one of those too that came down to a fire breath and then escaped with 12 HP. My first run, my 90 HP run. So I had to burn a Healmore there. However, that wasn't the cause. I mean, I didn't even get 2 attacks in the first time. I had to take a risk because he hit me twice before, and I had to use a Healmore without even getting an attack in. And I thought this isn't gonna work. So I had to take a risk and hit him with like 46 HP and used breath, and I was dead. So,
ooh, yeah, that's never fun.
But whatever. I could tell right away when I started the battle I wasn't gonna do it, so I figured I might as well die fast, you know.
Yeah. I've had Dragon Lord battles like that where I attacked and I think I attacked and did like 5 damage and I was like, well, Might as well throw a hurt more, just to, if I'm gonna lose, I might as well at least know right away I'm gonna lose. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a couple people in this tournament that seem to be specialists at pulling off the Dragon Lord Hurtmore.
Yes, indeed. I am not one of them, apparently. But,
Can I throw in a couple of Craigasms Resticle?
Yep, definitely, especially from Emptyeye here, right? The master of the Craigasm.
If anybody could do it, he could do it.
Yeah. But,
I couldn't help but
what
note.
I have to highlight at some point is, I don't remember if it was my first encounter with the Fun Police, but on finding out they had Dragon Lord breath, I just went, oh, for like a minute straight.
Oh,
Like, oh,
yeah, I mean, that was the other thing, too, is Emptyeye, I think you had like 3 or 4 Fun Police deaths kind of early on in the seed, and that was really pulling you behind in the experience grind.
Yeah, I think that was, I don't remember, were they in the, there was definitely something in Garen's grave where I was just like, you know what, forget it, I'll just leave those 2 chests, and if I have to come back, I'll come back. And unfortunately, I didn't.
There were.
I think it might have been werewolves.
Yeah, that might have been
werewolves quite a bit as well.
They had a lot of Dragon Lord breath. They like to use it pretty often, so.
Yeah, you guys both took a lot of risks killing werewolves, even after the fact that you had seen they had the big Dragon Lord breath and could just one-shot you at any time.
Right.
But most of the time, you came out ahead.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
Well,
I have
first
to.
race, man. Good game.
I have to just make a comment about
good
the
race.
Dragon Lord battle as well. Getting ambushed like that, having used, I think you had used 2 heal mores before the battle. Really, it was looking like really bad odds, but your average damage was somewhere around 13.5, and I can't help but note on the low end you did 9, 11, 12, 13, 13. On the high end you did 17, 17, 17, 16, 16, 15, 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was huge.
Really nice
I did
rolls,
feel like
man.
I was getting some fortunate rolls there, definitely.
Wow.
So.
Mostly wow and mostly poo on you.
That's randomizer for you.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a risk, and I knew if it didn't work out, I probably lost. So, but it,
Well,
it didn't
when I
work
was,
out,
I think
thankfully.
when we were at about an hour and 15 minutes, I saw the IRC stuff because it flashes. It's minimized, but it'll flash when somebody does something.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, I've lost this race. Like for the last 15 minutes, basically after my first Dragon Lord death, and I see it lighting up, and I thought for sure it was over for the last 10 minutes, and then I pull it up to done, and here it shows that you had just.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was surprised I'd won. So and then 30 seconds later you came in and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, what were you guys thinking as you were trying to fight the Dragon Lord? I mean, even RCT, your first Dragon Lord fight, did you guys think you had already lost the race? Because you're not looking at chat, you can't tell.
no, I knew I was ahead.
What was
I mean,
vitality?
I was almost certain I was ahead. I mean, again, I hadn't seen the chat. I hadn't seen IRC flash at all, so I knew a done hadn't come in. So I knew that I was still in contention. However, it hit me pretty soon in that fight that this was a blunder and could cost me the race, and it did. So when I was going back and I was grinding in Charlock and I saw it start to flash, I don't know what it was flashing for, but I thought, it's over. But it turns out it was just either people connecting or disconnecting or whatever. So.
Emptyeye, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was actually pretty sure I was behind, honestly, because, well, I did have the chat up just so, like I said, I could done quickly. But, I was trying not to pay too much attention to it. So even though he hadn't finished, like, I was kind of surprised at that point because, like you said, I did pretty well with the items. It was just trying to find Garenham, and I knew if I found that, I knew, Jerk Cave just about had to be in there. I think it did have to be in there. I'd found everything else. But it was just like, I could not find it, and I figured just taking so long to find that was going to be like, well, I probably lost just because that took so long to, get the rainbow drop in the first place. So, but I guess not.
A sigh of relief when you were able to jump in the chat, type that done first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations,
like, wow,
winning by 36 seconds.
Yeah. Wow.
So
what a
close.
great first race. What a great entrance to this tournament.
Yeah,
I mean,
great race. I can't, obviously since I won, I can't ask for anything more. But even if I Even if
Well,
I'd come out on the wrong end of that, you know, that would
Look,
have been.
guys, if there's one thing Empty and I do, we deliver entertainment. Okay.
Darn right.
That is
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. You know what? I can't agree more. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and give RCTMid and Emptyeye a follow. If you've been enjoying this race, by all means, give all the racers and streamers your support. Our community is really fantastic, as you can see, and so it's really just a lot of fun.
And many more races to come, both in the tournament and just for practice.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the first race of this round of this entire tournament. There are 10 more races just in this round.
Yeah.
We've got over 50 races in this tournament with, I believe, 27 entrants. So it's
Now,
about 53 races total. 52 or 53, depending on how the grand finals happens to go.
Would anybody be up for another?
Oh yeah, I'm in, definitely.
See, we're all addicted.
Yeah, I definitely want a practice race tonight.
Yeah.
I'm like still kind of in shock. I think I'm gonna sit this one out, but
I'm gonna start another one. So.
All right, awesome.
All right, fantastic. Well, that sounds like this is a pretty reasonable time to close down the stream. Any further thoughts from anybody else?
Not really. Just RCT, GG, and you know, good luck in the I guess losers bracket.
Thank you. Thank you for pointing out. Good luck against us. The other thing too, Emptyeye, is that you definitely got a chance. At, anyone's got a chance, and don't get nervous or anything like that. Take them down.
Yeah. I'll be more nervous than you are, Emptyeye.
All right, guys,
yeah, I mean,
I'll
that's
see you
kind
later.
of the one thing, I'll joke about NESCardinality being the final boss, because he really is.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this point, like, he's got more to lose, He's clearly the favorite in this matchup, no offense, but...
Oh, none taken.
All the pressure's on him. If you lose, it's kind of like, whatever, that was expected, no big deal. I still have a loser's bracket to fight my way through.
Yeah,
but, I mean, it'll be a crazy bracket. If any one of the high seeds gets an early exit.
Yeah, and believe me, none taken. I filled out the prediction bracket, and I did predict myself winning this match, or the match against the one we just had. But look at it this way: I predicted myself losing to NESCardinality.
Yeah,
so.
Such hubris.
Yeah.
No, that's it's a common theme in all of the prediction brackets. I think almost everybody predicted NESCardinality would be in the winners finals.
Yeah.
Including myself, and I have him beating me in the winners finals. That's how much I respect. So we'll definitely be looking forward to your matchup next week. I mean, that might even be like the highlight matchup. To see if David can beat Goliath here. All right, thank you both. Really great race. Couldn't ask for anything more for our first tournament race here.
An awesome race.
And thank you to everybody who's been watching. I can see about 30 people in the race chat. Thank you all so much.
Cool.
It's really great that we can have this community and put on this show for you guys, because we all have a lot of fun.
Thank you to Sparkover for running the stream as well as the stats behind the scenes, Tristal for joining, myself for commentary, and everyone for watching.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you to all of you for the cool restream.
Exclamation point bear.
All the bears.
Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Yep, it looks like another race is going to be
good night,
starting
everyone.
up hopefully within the next 15 to a half an hour. So go ahead and go over to RCTMid said he was going to join. So you can either hop onto his channel. NESCardinality definitely was looking forward to a race tonight. Hop over to his channel. I'm still debating whether or not I want to do a race. It's 11 o'clock here. Maybe. We'll see.
Enjoy, everyone.
Okay, have a good night, everybody.
And good night to everyone in Sparkover's chat. Thank you all so much for watching. This is the start of many wonderful races to come. Hopefully a lot of close races like this. This was everything I could have possibly hoped for in terms of entertainment value. And right from the beginning of the race, with the divergent stats and everything, this was exactly the result I was hoping for, regardless of who won. I just hope for a lot more exciting races like this. We'll see what happens. Good luck to everyone who's going to join the next race. Looks like 3 of us at least so far, and we'll see who else joins. And I'll be up shortly. Have a good night, everyone.